Hello, Ryker people! There are a lot of upgrades and modifications available for the Can-Am Ryker. Which ones are worth getting? Stay tuned as I share which ones are must-haves. Good morning, I am Lisa. What a beautiful day to take your bike out. I have had my Ryker for about a year now. I purchased it last year in 2022 and it's a 2019 Ryker Rally. When I purchased it, the previous owner had a lot of upgrades on it already. And I want to share with you, after being on it for a year, which upgrades I think are must-haves, meaning that if I were planning on buying a Ryker, I would definitely budget to purchase those upgrades as well. And then there's upgrades that are worth the money. By worth the money, I mean definitely get it if you have the budget, but if you don't have the budget, I think you can still enjoy a safe ride without those items. And then of course there's the nice to haves. Okay, so I think I'm gonna talk about these upgrades in these three categories: must-haves, worth the money, and nice to haves. Okay, the first I think must-have mod is a windshield. Now you can see this is a smaller windshield. It doesn't look like much, but it actually makes a big difference on the highway when you're traveling at high speeds. It diverts a lot of the wind buffering above your head so that it's not coming at me on my chest. So I think this is definitely a needed item for riding. It also protects the bugs from hitting you, right? I don't know if you've seen those bug splashes on windshields or helmets, or if I don't have this, they would end up on my jacket, which would not be nice. So I think this is definitely a must-have. Similarly, handguards is another must-have. They protect my hands from pebbles or debris that big trucks can kick up, right? So handguard for me is another must-have. Moving down to the front, see these LED lights make my Ryker very visible from behind. So they increase the visibility of my bike and definitely improve safety because others are able to see me better. Related to the electrical, I added a pigtail here that is attached to my battery, and let me show you. Okay. This pigtail allows me to connect my battery tender to the battery in a convenient way without having to take off my lid, which is not that difficult, but still it's nice to have ready access to this battery tender. Now, why should I have a battery tender? It is a maintainer for the battery to keep it in good health, and if it needs charging, it trickle charges it to make sure that my Ryker is always ready to go when I want to ride. So that is also a must-have. Another must-have is a comfort seat. If you're going to be out riding for a couple of hours at a time and you don't want your buns to hurt, getting an upgraded seat is worth it and makes it much more enjoyable. Another upgrade I have in my Ryker, now I'm 2019, and 2019 versions do not come with a gas cap. So the previous owner added a gas cap, lockable gas cap, which I believe is also a must-have. I think the newer Ryker models have it come standard, so that's not a problem for the newer models. But for older models without one, you definitely need one to prevent gas from splashing out. The next must-have item is an upgrade to the mare. The standard mare that comes with the Ryker I just feel like it doesn't give me enough visibility when I'm on the road. So I actually purchased a stick-on mare that gives me wider angle, and that's what this is. Now, honestly, I don't feel like this is good enough either, so I'm still looking for something different that's a little bit better. But at least this is better than the standard stock mare. The standard stock mare is just not good enough, I feel. So those are all the must-have items. Now let's move on to talk about the worth the money items. As you can see down here, one of the worth the money items is this helmet lock. I need a way to secure the helmet when I'm out riding and I stop. So this is one way to secure the helmet, and this is a sling mod upgrade where you put this little piece through the D-rings, and this metal piece just hooks onto this lock, and that secures your helmet. Helmet is very expensive, so you definitely don't want to have somebody walk out with that. So that's one way to secure it. That's nice and convenient and does not need a more expensive case. Another worth the money item is my dash cam. So you never know what's going to happen out on the road, and having a dash cam, I just feel like it's an added layer of safety in case I get into a situation where somebody gets hurt, and that would be just one way to document what happens, so that we all understand the facts afterwards. Fortunately, the Ryker does have a USB port, so I was able to connect the USB to the front here fairly unobtrusively, and I'm able to lock the front even with that cable connected. Here at the rear of the bike, you can see that I have a shack case, which is very convenient because it gave me a little bit more storage. So here is where I keep things like a compressor kit and extra eyeglasses and rain jacket. And so it's just nice to have for your emergency toolkit. And you'll have to excuse my mess, but it's very nice storage space. The final worth the money item is the parking brake. On the newer Ryker models, the parking brake comes standard, but again, on my model, the parking brake is not standard, so this is an upgrade that the previous owner added, which I feel is very valuable and definitely worth the money for added bike security, so others cannot roll it off, or when you're on a hill, it's also not likely to roll off. So those are all the worth the money items. Now, next let's talk about the nice to haves. For the nice to haves, I do have a passenger seat, as you can see here. I've never actually used it because I haven't had a passenger, but it's nice to have, right? In case you do want to have a passenger sometimes. Other nice to haves, you can see that the previous owner also added some tank pouches. That's just nice added organizer and storage space for your small stuff. And there's some also front organizers that's been added. Again, nice to have to keep your stuff organized. And of course, wraps to make your Ryker your own. Some other nice to haves that people talk about that I don't have include things like a jockey shifter. So here's a shifter, and for short people like me, it's definitely too far to reach with my hand. So I've been able to get around it by placing my foot on the shifter, pressing down and pulling backwards. Some people don't like to use their foot, or if they try to use their foot using the top of their foot, then I'm not able to reach it because I'm too short. But For people who really want to reach for the reverse shifter with their hands, a jockey shifter would be nice to have. Another nice to have I hear people talking about, but I have not done, is the sway bar and end link. You can see I still have the stock end link and sway bars here, and they've worked well for me so far. I don't ride enough on rough roads to feel like a sway bar end link upgrade is necessary, but I guess that really depends on your condition, your riding condition, right? So those are the mods or the upgrades on my Ryker. It's a really enjoyable little machine to ride, wonderful for newbies like myself. And they're expensive, right? There's a lot of money that could be put into it, but I think some of these items, some of these upgrades are must-haves for your safety reasons, and others are nice to have that perhaps will be a good idea to add once you have the budget and the time to add them. But you definitely don't need everything that people talk about on the internet to be able to enjoy your Ryker safely. So that's my experience for what it's worth. What do you find that is a must-have on your Ryker? Share them with me. I'd like to consider it. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. Let's go out and enjoy the ride.